उत्पादकं यत् प्रवदन्ति उत्पादकं यत् प्रवदन्ति बुद्धेः अधिष्ठितं सत्पुरुषेण सांख्याः व्यक्तस्य कृत्स्नस्य तदेकबीजम् व्यक्तस्य कृत्स्नस्य तदेकबीजम् अव्यक्तमीशं गणितं च वन्दे अव्यक्तम् ईशं गणितं च वन्दे। गणकभणितिरम्यं गणकभणितिरम्यं बाललीलावगम्यं बाललीलावगम्यं सकलगणितसारं सोपपत्तिप्रकारम् इति बहुगुणयुक्तं सर्वदोषैर्विमुक्तं पठ पठमतिवृद्ध्यै पठ पठमतिवृद्ध्यै लघ्विदं प्रौढिसिद्ध्यै लघु इदं प्रौढिसिद्ध्यै। सीतया श्रूयतां प्रौढिः सीतया श्रूयतां प्रौढिः भास्करस्य गिरोरथ गायता धन्यतां मन्ये भास्करस्य गिरोधुना।
We now have our second plenary speaker, Dr. Sita Sundar Ram. She has a BSc in Mathematics and MA in Sanskrit. She wrote an outstanding doctoral dissertation on Krishna Daivajna's commentary on the Bijganita of Bhaskaracharya. Currently, she is a research associate in an INSA-sponsored project to prepare a translation and mathematical commentary of the Siddhanta Shiromani of Bhaskaracharya. So I now request Dr. Sita Sundar Ram to start her lecture. And the schedule would be, as we have followed in the earlier session, about 45 minutes of presentation and then 15 minutes for discussion.
Namaste. I'd first like to thank Professor Sharma and Dr. Hayashi for suggesting my name to talk about the Bijaganita of Bhaskaracharya. Yatashika Mayuranam Naganam Manayo Yata Tata Vedanga Shastranam Ganitam Murdhanistitam. Like the crest of the peacocks, the gems on the hoods of the cobras, mathematics is at the top of the Vedanga Shastras, Vedanga Jyotisha. The above statements makes it clear as to how the ancient Indians regarded mathematics as an integral part of human development. Within the heading of mathematics itself, the distinction between arithmetic and algebra to some extent can be found in their names. Arithmetic deals with mathematical operations, while algebra deals with the determination of unknown entities. Hence, arithmetic was called Vyakta Ganita and algebra was called Avyakta Ganita. Starting from treatises like the Sulba Sutras, Indian mathematicians like Aryabhata, Brahmagupta, Mahavira, Sripati, Sridhara, Padmanabha, and others have contributed directly and indirectly to the growth of algebra. However, it's to the credit of Bhaskaracharya, 12th century, to have for the first time written separate treatises on algebra and arithmetic. His Leelavati, which you heard just now, is a treatise on arithmetic, and Bijaganita is on algebra. Calling algebra by the name Bijaganita, Bhaskara says, Bijam Matihi Vivida Varna Sahayinihi Mandava Bodha Vidaye Vibude Nijadye Vistarita Ganaka Tamarasam Shubir Yasaiva Bijaganitahvetam Upeta. Intelligence alone is algebra, symbols are its associates. Ancient teachers, enlightening mathematicians as the sun irradiates the lotus, have in the main displayed their intelligence associating itself with many symbols. That has now attained the name Bijaganita. He also remarks, Upapatti Utam Bijaganitam Ganakaha Jaguhu. Nache Vedam Visheshosti Na Pati Bijayor Yataha. Mathematicians have declared algebra to be calculation accompanied by proofs. Otherwise, there would be no distinction between arithmetic and algebra. It was Bhaskara who for the first time classified Bijaganita into two, as tools of algebra and its applications. At the end of the first section, after the chapter on Varga Prakriti and Chakravala, he says, Uktam Bijopa Yogidam Sankshiptam Ganitam Kila Ato Bijam Pravakshyami Ganakananda Karakam. The section of science of calculation which is essential for analysis has been set forth. Now I shall analysis, which is a source of pleasure to the mathematician. There are 6 commentaries on the Bijaganita as recorded by Sen. Of these, the Bija Pallava of Krishna Devigna and Surya Prakasha of Suryadasa are the most popular. In Bhaskara's Bijaganita, the initial chapters deal with Dhanarana Shadvita, law of sign, Kha Shadvita, laws of zero and infinity, Avyakta Shadvita, operations of unknowns, Karani, Kuttaka, indeterminate equations of the first degree, Varga Prakriti and Chakravala, indeterminate equations of the second degree. In the second section, Bhaskara teaches the applications of the sutras he stated earlier. Now, positive and negative numbers, Dhanarana Shadvida. Here, he explains the 6 fundamental operations, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square and square root, leaving the 2 cube and cube roots which he had discussed in Lilavati. These 6 operations deal with positive and negative numbers. They are Sankalana, Vyavakalana, Gunana, Bhajana, Varga and Vargamula. Brahmagupta was the first to detail the operations involving positive and negative numbers. Krishnadevajna, in his commentary Bija Pallava on the Bijaganita, explains addition and subtraction of negative and positive numbers with the help of identifying them on a straight line. Modern texts call this the number line. About negative numbers, Bhaskara says, Yani Rinagatani Tani Urva Bundunicha. The dot on top denotes the negative number. He also adds, Na Moolam Kshayasyasti Tasya Akritatvat. Since that has no form, a negative number has no square root. 0 and infinity. The discovery of 0 not only helped to establish the place value system, but also to distinguish between negative and positive numbers. Brahmagupta was the first to deal with operations of 0, but it was Bhaskara who first said that any number divided by 0 is infinity. He says, Asmin vikaraha kahare charachavavi pravishteshvapi nisriteshu bahushvapi syal laya srishti kale anante achyute bhutaganeshu yadvat. Just as at the period of destruction or creation of the worlds, though numerous orders of beings are absorbed or put forth, there is no change in the infinite and inimitable God. So in the quantity which has 0 for its divisor, there is no change, though many may be added or subtracted. Karani. Karani is a section which is dealt with in much detail by Bhaskara. He says, this is a very elegant formula. Yogam karanyor mahatim prakalpya घातस्य मूलं द्विगुणं लघुं च योगान्तरे रूपवद् एतयोस्ते वर्गेण वर्गं गुणयेत् भजच्च. That is, if you have two numbers a plus b, take it as Mahati m, and 2 into root of ab as l, then root a plus or minus root b whole squared is nothing but root of capital M plus or minus L. While dealing with division of surds, Bhaskara skillfully used what is now called rationalization of denominator. In the example given, the divisor is root 27 minus root 25. Then the student is asked to multiply and divide by root 27 plus 25 to get the result with integers in the denominator. Kuttaka, indeterminate equation degree. There's going to be a speaker who is going to deal with at length, so I'm just giving a gist of it. Beginning with Aryabhatta, most of the ancient mathematicians dealt with the Kuttaka or the pulverizer method to solve indeterminate equations of the first degree ax plus c equal to by. After giving the definition of the word Kuttaka and explaining the method, Bhaskara has considered various forms of Kuttaka with negative and positive dividend a Bhajya, divisor Bhajaka, and additive Kshepa. Bhaskara also uses the Kuttaka method to solve equations with several unknowns much later. There are slight differences between the methods of Bhaskara and those of Aryabhatta 1, Brahmagupta, Aryabhatta 2, and Sripati. The example given by Bhaskara to solve for x and y, the equation 221x plus 65 equal to 195y. This is reduced to 17x plus 5 equal to 15y after dividing throughout by 17. After using the Kuttaka method, the solution arrived at is x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 6. To get infinite solutions, Bhaskara says, Ishahta swaswaharena yukte teva bhavetam bahuda gunapti. The labdi and guna added to their respective divisors multiplied by the assumed numbers become manifold solutions for x and y. So x is equal to 15t plus 5, y is equal to 17t plus 6, and t take the value 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, and so on. So you get infinite solutions. It is interesting to note that Krishna in his Bija Pallava has discussed various situations with different values of Kshepa, starting from Kshepa equal to 0. In his elaborate treatment of Kuttaka, Bhaskara seems to have noticed that by the rule of some earlier author, errors would arise in case dividend is negative. Bhaskara wonders, Bhajye bhajake va rinakate paraspara bhajanat labdaya rinagataha stapyaha iti kim tena prayasena. If the divisor or dividend is negative, the quotients obtained from mutual division, which are negative, should be placed in the Valli. Why should there be such an effort when the rule is clear? Then he goes to Sthira Kuttaka and Samsklishta Kuttaka. The simple indeterminate equation ax plus or minus 1 equal to by is solved in the same way as ax plus or minus c equal to by and is only a special case of the latter. It is called Sthira Kuttaka and finds use in astronomical calculations. The last topic dealt with in the chapter is the Samsklishta Kuttaka or simultaneous linear Diophantine equation. I am not dealing with them for want of time. It's a very elaborate chapter. Varga Prakriti and Chakravala. From the time of Brahmagupta, mathematicians in India were attempting the harder problem of solving equations of the second degree. As early as 628 AD, Brahmagupta gave a partial solution to the problem of solving nx squared plus 1 equal to y squared, now erroneously called Pell's equation. The fundamental step in Brahmagupta's method for the general solution in positive integers for the equation nx squared plus 1 equal to y squared, where n is any non-square integer, is to consider two auxiliary equations nx squared plus ki equal to y squared, I equal to 1 or 2, with ki being chosen from ki equal to plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2 or plus or minus 4. A procedure known as bhavana, applied repeatedly wherever necessary, helps us in deriving at least one possible solution of the original Varga Prakriti, n plus 1 equal to y squared. This solution, by means of the same principle of bhavana, yields an infinite number of solutions. Brahmagupta could find this auxiliary equation only by trial and error method. That's the general equation. The general equation is given. Now, the new x will be, you do Vajrabhyasa cross multiplication, x1 into y2 plus y1 into x2. That will be the new x. And I don't know to show it. And then the next new y will be n into x1, x2 plus y1, y2. And k will be k1 into k2. This is the new set of values. This new set of values, if it is not integer, if it is in a fraction form, you do the bhavana again till you reach the integral solution. Remarkable success was achieved by Bhaskara when he developed a simple method to derive the auxiliary equation. This equation would have the required kshepas plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2 or plus or minus 4. Simultaneously with two integral solutions from any auxiliary equation empirically formed with any simple value of the kshepa. This method is the famous Chakravala or cyclic method, so named for its iterative character. According to K.S., the earliest author who refers to Chakravala is Udaya Divakara, who quotes Jayadeva's verses on Chakravala. There is no mention of Jayadeva by any other author. Even Bhaskara only says Chakravalam Jaguhu, meaning it was known prior to him. Bhaskara's Chakravala is based on the following lemma. It is given here, and you finally arrive at the answer. It is the for the two the equations n a squared plus k equal to b squared and n 1 squared plus m squared minus n equal to m squared. The bhavana method is applied. That is the Vajrabhyasa and the direct multiplication, and you arrive at the equation. The previous So dividing by k squared, you get the equation. Now the point is to choose m. That m is so chosen that am plus b by k is an integer, and also m squared minus n by k is minimum. Mod of m squared minus k is minimum. That is the when you get a number of, that is when you get infinite solutions for the Kuttaka, you choose that value which gives the least value for mod of m squared minus n by k. Krishna Daivajna Bija Pallava, in his Bija Pallava, has made a valuable contribution by giving a formula to find the y. See, as you do the Chakravala again and again, the value of y becomes larger and larger. So this method by Krishna Daivajna's formula, you can get the y without solving the square root of the left hand side. Anyatapi jeshtapeksha chet tada gunaka gunitam jeshtam prakriti gunena kanishtena yutam kshepabhaktam jeshtam bhavati iti asmadukta prakare margena jeshtam kuryat. The original greater root b is multiplied by the multiplier m and added to the lesser root a multiplied by prakriti. The sum is divided by kshepa k. This is nothing but the square root on the right hand side. This is specially useful while computing the square root of large numbers. Now, in this infinite system of values, there should be at least set of two integers, one less than root m and other greater than root n in the immediate neighborhood of plus or minus root n, and similarly 2 in the immediate neighborhood of plus minus root n. The squares of these four integers are evidently nearer to n than the squares of any other value. So now the trick is to the least value that you should use for Chakravala. In this connection, A. Iyengar makes a note that this rule has exceptions and records. An exceptional case may occur when the root corresponding to the nearest square leads back to the previous step in the process of reduction. In this case, the root corresponding to the nearest of the remaining squares should be chosen. This exceptional case has not been noted by Bhaskara specially. However, the following example will make it clear. So I have taken this example of 58x squared plus 1 equal to y squared. So you solve the Kuttaka with x plus 8 equal to 6y. Then the solutions are 4, 2, 10, 3, 16, 4 and so on. Now if you take 4, 2, you get the same Kuttaka x plus 8 equal to 6y. So you go do it again and again, you are not going any further. So you leave 4, 2, you go to the next solution which is 10, 3. And then you proceed and you will get the solution. See, you are getting, for the third step you are choosing 8, 13 as the least value for m squared minus n by k. So you are getting 58 into 13 squared minus 1 equal to 99 squared. So at this point you stop and you do bhavana because you have got k is equal to minus 1. Otherwise if you do the European Lagrange's method, you will do for another 3-4 steps. So here you do the Vajrabhyasa and direct multiplication and you get integer solutions. There is an interesting story behind the equation of the type nx squared plus 1 equal to y squared. In 1657, the famous French mathematician Fermat sent a public challenge to his friend Bernard Frenicle de Bessy and then on to Brouncker and Wallis in England to solve the equation 61x squared plus 1 equal to y squared in integers. We await his challenge. The solutions, which England or Belgian and Celtic Gauls cannot give them, Narbonnian Gaul will, meaning himself. None of these succeeded in solving the equation. It was only in 1732 that the renowned mathematician Euler gave a complete solution, but remarkably, the very same equation had been dealt with and solved in a few steps by Bhaskara by the famous Chakravala method more than 5 centuries earlier. Bhaskara gave the least solution as x is equal to 226153980, y is equal to 176631949. No wonder Andrew Weil exclaims, what would have been Fermat's astonishment if some missionary back from India had told him that his problem had been successfully tackled there by native mathematicians almost 6 centuries earlier. Later in the 18th century, Euler gave Brahmagupta's lemma and its proof. He was aware of Brounker's work on the above equation as presented by Wallis, but he was totally unaware of the contribution of the Indian mathematicians. He gave the basis for the continued fraction method to solve the above equation, which was put into a polished form by Lagrange in 1766. The other major contribution of Euler was in wrongly naming the equation as Pell's equation, thinking that the major contribution which Wallis had reported as due to Brouncker were in fact the work of Pell. Lagrange published his additions to Euler's Elements of Algebra in 1771, and this contains his rigorous version of Euler's continued fraction approach to Pell's equation. The following observations made by Selenius in the special study of Chakravala. Chakravala represents the shortest possible continued fraction algorithm with minimum number of cycles. Naturally, use of bhavana affects shortening of the calculation. Chakravala always produces the least possible solution. From there on, all solutions. With or without use of bhavana, the least solution is obtained. Also, Chakravala ingeniously avoids large numbers in the calculation. This is an example. This is the Chakravala with bhavana. So the answer is obtained in 5 steps. That is Chakravala without bhavana. The answer you get in 8 steps. And this is Lagrange's method, where you get it after 13 steps. This is a comparative study to show the short way of Chakravala method. The equation nx squared minus 1 equal to y squared. Bhaskara has also dealt with the case nx squared minus 1 equal to y squared, where the additive or kshepa is a negative unity. Rupashiddho kilodishtam vargayogo guno nachet. When kshepa is negative unity, the solution of the problem is impossible unless the prakriti is the sum of the squares of two rational numbers. It's not clear whether the European mathematicians who later developed Pell's equation were aware of the above. A well-known result relating to convergence shows that particular solutions of nx squared plus 1 equal to y squared can always be found. But particular solutions of nx squared minus 1 equal to y squared are found only when the period of the continued fraction for root 1 is odd. Also, not all equations of the type can be solved. In this connection, we have the following known results on existence and non-existence of solutions for nx squared minus 1 equal to y squared. Result 1. If n minus 3 is an integral multiple of 4, that is n is equal to 4k plus 3, for some natural number k, the equation nx squared minus 1 equal to y squared has no solutions. Result 2. If the prime number of the form 4k plus 1, then the equation nx squared minus 1 equal to y squared always has solutions. Result 2 is closely connected with a famous theorem by Fermat proved by Euler in 1754. Every prime number p of the form 4k plus 1 can be expressed as the sum of two squares, and the representation is unique. That is, there exists only one pair of integers pq such that p is equal to p squared plus q squared. The above two statements conform to what Bhaskara has said 500 years earlier. Now, Bhaskara under this section has given two examples. This one is 13x squared minus 1 equal to y squared, and 8x squared minus 1 equal to y squared. Now, 13x squared minus 1 is y squared follows exactly the formula that he has given, but not the second example, 8x squared minus 1 equal to y squared. He does not produce integer solutions, but this I have dealt with in my book very elaborately. Why Bhaskara has given that example, but it still does not have integer solution. Variations of Varga Prakriti. So far, Bhaskara has dealt with Chakravala method to arrive at integral solution. In a few more forms of Varga Prakriti, Bhaskara does not insist on integral solution and hence does not apply the Chakravala method. These are explained by Krishna Devagna in detail in his Bija Pallavam. They are mn squared x squared plus or minus k equal to x squared, y squared, a squared x squared plus or minus k is equal to y squared, nx squared plus or minus n is equal to y squared, and minus nx squared plus or minus k is equal to y squared. I am not going into detail, I am just giving the different equations he has dealt with for want of time. Ekavarna Samikarana and Madhyamaharana. Equations with variables, linear and quadratic. The procedure for solving linear equation in one variable is quite the same as adopted in modern mathematics. In this section, by way of example, Bhaskara covers many branches in mathematics, such as the rule of three, Trairashika, arithmetic progression, Shredi Pala, and geometry, Kshetra Vyavahara. The method are exactly what we are using in modern mathematics, so there is no innovation, I am not going into detail. Quadratic equation. From a very early age, Indians were aware of Madhyamaharana, or the name given to quadratic equation. Bhaskara himself defines Madhyamaharana. Tacha Madhyamaharanamiti Vyavarnayanti Acharyaha. Yato atra Vargarasho Ekasya Madhyamasya Aharanamiti. It is specifically named by the Acharyas as Madhyamaharana because the middle term of the quadratic gets removed. The most significant contribution came from Sridharacharya, 11th century AD, whose treatise is unfortunately lost to us. He gives an excellent method for solving the quadratic equation, which is quoted by Bhaskara. Chaturahata varga samarupehi pakshadvayam gunayet purvavyaktasya kritehe samarupani kshipet tayoreva. This reading of the verse is found in the text of the commentators Krishnadevigna and Ramakrishna. Colebrook and Datta and Singh also accept this reading. Suryadasa in his Surya Prakasha, the other commentary of Vijayaganita, gives a different reading for the second line as Avyakta Varga Rupehi Yukto Paksho Tato Moolam. According to Datta and Singh, Jnanaraja has also given the same reading, and it has also been accepted by Sudhakara Devedi as is found in his edition. Sridhara's rules done thus: to find the roots of the equation ax squared plus bx equal to c. This is the same as the modern method. Only thing is c is on the other side. Accordingly, the answer is given as x is equal to root of 4ac plus b squared minus b divided by 2a. It's exactly the same as is used in the schools nowadays. The special features of the quadratic is dealt with very elaborately by Bhaskara. Illustrations are taken up by Bhaskara to show that every quadratic equation has two roots. When there are two positive roots, one may not be desirable and not taken. To explain the situations when the negative root cannot be accepted. Numerically, both are possible, but being practical solutions accepted by the Indian mathematicians, Bhaskara has accepted only a few of them. Bhaskara gives the rule for two roots of the quadratic equation, laying emphasis on the word dvividam kuchittu, meaning sometimes only two values can be taken. Bhaskara rules out negative roots, though they can be allowed as numerical examples. However, it should be remembered that Indian mathematicians use algebra to solve practical problems by accepting practical positive solution and ignoring impractical negative solution. The following example will make it clear. Yutat panchamsakas triyuno vargito gahvaram gatah. Drishtaha shakamrgah shakam arudo vadate kati. It's an example coming in the given in the Lilavati. The fifth part of the troop of monkeys less 3 squared had gone to a cave, and one monkey was inside, having climbed on a branch. Say how many were there in all. The two solutions are, after solving the quadratic force, are 50 and 5. Bhaskara says, Dvitiya matra nagrahyam anupapannatvat. Nahi rinagate lokasya pratitiirasti. The second in this case is not to be considered, for it is incongruous. People do not approve of negative absolute number, because the fifth part of the true less 3. Fifth part of 5 will be 1, and if you do less 3, it will become a minus number. That is what he is objecting to. In the following example, Bhaskara points out an error in the maxim given in Padmanabha's algebra. Because we have now lost this, we don't have the manuscript with us, but Bhaskara at two places mentions Padmanabha's bija. Karnasya tivelona dvadashankula shankuba chaturdashangula jata ganaka bruhi tam drutam. The shadow of a gnomon, 12 angulas, being lessened by a third part of the hypotenuse, became 14 angulas long. Tell quickly, O Ganaka, the length of the shadow. The shadow problem. And the two solutions, 45 by 2 and 9. So Bhaskara says, Dvitiya chaya chaturdashebhyo nyuna ato anupapannatvat nagrahya ata uktam dvidam kvachiditi. The second value of the shadow being less than 14, because of its incongruity, it cannot be accepted. Hence it is said kvachittu. This is contrary to what Padmanabha says in his bija. Ata Padmanabha bije yakta pakshasya chen moolam anya paksharna rupatah alpam lanarnagam kritva dvizotpatyate mitihi. Ite yat paribhashitam tasya vyabicharo ayam. This says Bhaskara. When the root of the absolute side is less than the known number being negative on the other side, making it positive and negative, the value comes out twofold. This is the maxim of Padmanabha. Because he doesn't use the word kvachittu, Bhaskara takes objection. He says it cannot be always 2. It can be two roots for the solution only sometimes. In the same chapter, Bhaskara proves certain known results using geometrical figures. Though kotyantara vargena dvigno gata samanvitah vargayoga samatsakyat dvayor abhyaktayor yata. This is an identity which you know. X minus y whole squared is plus 2xy is equal to x squared plus y squared. This is given with figures. Aneka varna samikarana and madhyamaharana. The above denote equations with more than one unknown. There are both simple and multiplications of this type. Earlier to Bhaskara, we find treatment of these equations in Brahmagupta's Brahmasputa Siddhanta, Mahavira's Ganita Sara Sangraha, and in the Bhakshali manuscript. The sutras explaining the method employed to solve the equations involving several unknowns are commented on by Bhaskara himself in his auto-commentary. Krishna Devajna exclaims, Etani sutrani acharyaiva samyak vyakyatani iti na asmabhihi vyakriyante. This is a controversial example. An example of previous authors is taken up by Bhaskara for discussion in the section. Shadashta shatakaha kritva samargena palaniye vikriyacha punassesham ekekam panchabhi panehi jata samapanastesham kva krayah vikrayascha kaha. Three traders having 6, 8 and 100 for their capitals bought fruits at a uniform rate and resold a part so, and disposed of the remainder at 1 for 5 panas, and thus became equally rich. What was the rate of their purchase and what was the rate of their sale? Bhaskara himself says that he has somehow solved the problem. He has made his own views on the said problem quite clear in his commentary. Idam aniyatadara kriyayam adyer udahritya yata kachantit samikaranam krutva anitam. Iyam tata kalpana krita yata atra anitadara kriyavat palamagacchati. Evam vida kalpanacha kriya sankochat yatra vibhijarati tatra buddhimatbhihi buddhya sandeyam. This is cited as an example of earlier authors with insufficient data, and by framing equations, somehow a solution has been obtained. Here, an assumption is made such that the solution transpires from insufficient data as from sufficient data. Even after this assumption, if the procedure does not produce an answer, the intelligent student should find the right procedure using their intellect. The above example cited by Bhaskara raises two important issues. 1. Whether Trairashika should be used or not. 2. Whether the given fraction should be reduced to smaller numbers before doing Kuttaka. Krishna Devajna, with an elaborate discussion, defends Bhaskara's use of Trairashika. He also justifies the second point by quoting Bhaskara's own words from the Gola Prashnadhyaya. Uddishtam kuttake tadnair neyam nirapavartanam vebhichara kvachit kwapi kiratva pattir anyata. Nirapavartana or no reduction should be done if it leads to an incorrect answer. Kamalakara does not agree with this view of Krishna Devajna. In his Siddhanta Tattva Viveka, he says, Navankure bijote kuttaka anapavartane Siddhanta sammatir yokta sadatta jnanata asti itha. The words quoted in Navankura of Krishna Devajna, the said anapavartana has sanctioned from Siddhanta Shiromani, is only from ignorance. Sudhakara Dwivedi, in his edition of the Bijaganita, takes objection to the method propounded by Bhaskara. Bhaskara, he says, Bhaskara has given the Sutra and Kuttaka setting the need for apavartana. To say that here it is not applicable is only satisfying duller intellects. In this connection, he also adds, in Ganaka Tarangini, while explaining the example Shadasha Shatakaha, whatever Krishna has said without understanding the real import of Bhaskara's statement given in the Gola Prashnadhyaya is to be looked into by mathematicians. In the same edition of Sudhakara's Bijaganita, in his expository notes, Muralidhar Raja does not concur with Sudhakara Dwivedi. He gives the following rejoinder. Bhaskara has not done apavartana, knowing fully well that by doing so, a solution will not be possible. But Acharya has also added that in certain exceptional cases, such assumptions should be made by the wise. So it is not correct to use the phrase pleasing the duller intellects. Thus, the above example came in for a lot of discussion even up to this century. Madhyamaharana. Bhaskara is perhaps the earliest author to mention the solution of indeterminate equation of the secondary other than Varga Prakriti in his Bija Ganita. According to Bhaskara, Evam Tadeva Sada Yada Asakrit Samikaranam Yada tu Sakrideva Samikaranam. They are of two kinds, a single equation or multiple equation. I am taking only a single equation because of time constraint. The example given by Bhaskara, Ko Rashir Dviguno Rashi Vargehi Shadbihi Samanvitaha Mulado Jayate Beta Ganitagnya Vadashu Tam. Is already said Beta Ganitagnya. You already know algebra, so you solve the problem. What number, when doubled and added to 6 times its square, becomes capable of yielding a square root? Oh, algebraists, tell me quickly. This is the method. You can see that he is using the Varga Prakriti method to solve the equation. When it comes to a 6x plus 1 whole squared equal to 6y squared plus 1, is assuming 6x plus 1 as capital X, and it becomes a Varga Prakriti equation. So he solves the Varga Prakriti equation and gets results for capital X and then on to small x. Using the above method of Bhaskara, infinite number of solutions can be obtained. This easy method has also been followed by later algebraists like Narayana, Jnanaraja, according to Datta and Singh. They add that some of these methods were rediscovered in 1733 by Euler. But they say his Euler's method is indirect and compressed. Lagrange begins in the same way as that of Bhaskara by completing the square on the left side of the equation. Varga Kuttaka, the indeterminate equation of the type x squared equal to by plus c is called Varga Kuttaka. This closely resembles the linear Kuttaka. This is the formula given by Sutra given by Bhaskara for solving the Varga Kuttaka equation. I am not going into detail about them, just giving the, when we multiply, he has just given the formula. Now, last chapter is Bhavita, where he is going to deal with product of unknowns. It refers both to the technique as well as the definition of the word. Such equations occur in Bhakshali manuscript, Mahavira's Ganita Sarasangraha, and Siddhanta Shekhara of Sripati. His aim was to give, Bhaskara's aim was to give integral solution. He himself states that such equations can be solved both algebraically and with figures. Sacha dvivida sarvatra syat eka kshetragata anya rashigata iti. An example given is xy equal to 4x plus 3y plus 2. So the figure is given. In two ways, the rectangle is formed of 4 rectangles. That is PRQD plus ASRP, SBTR and TCQC. Add them and form the equation in two ways, and you get rectangle PRQD is equal to 14. So the area is 14. If you want integral solution, the sides can be either 2 into 7 or 1 into 14. So that's how this problem is solved. So the algebraic method also uses figures. That's why I had not taken that for an example. This song has been already sung by Kashi Vishwanathan, but I would like to conclude because very aptly sums up Bija Ganita text. Ganaka Banita Ramyam Bala Leelava Gamyam Sakala Ganita Saram Swapapatti Prakaram Iti Bahu Guna Yuktam Sarva Doshair Vimuktam Pata Matibuddhe Lagvidam Praudisiddhye. To augment wisdom and strengthen confidence, do read mathematician. This abridgment, elegant in style, easily understood by youth, comprising the whole essence of computation and containing the demonstration of its principles, replete with excellence and void of defect. Thank you.
See, the example that you had chosen, 58x square. So in that example, it happens almost in 1/3 you are able to get the solution. So the grandmother has 13 steps. This has only 5 steps. So what would be the average value of simplification in the procedure.
No, this
Have
is
you worked out a few examples?
yeah, many. I worked up from 1 to 100. I worked. 61x square plus 1 involves only 3 steps by Chakravala. So I was not going to take that. So that is why I have to.
No, my question was, what would be the simplification that is achieved by using this principle compared to Lagrange in a general way? What can we state?
No, only the number of steps is reduced.
By what measure?
No, I'm not able to say that. I mean, I cannot give exact so many steps. No.
I don't know if this is a question or a comment or something. See this example of 61x square plus 1 equal to y square. It is said in many places that this is the same example as was used by Fermat.
Yes.
No, this is not. I'm seriously doubtful about this because it's not there in the Fermat's collected works. And also the book, this Diophantus of Alexandria, it has a footnote saying about Fermat's examples, which are actually different. So, in fact, the way it happened was that when I heard about this, I was quite puzzled that two different periods and
Yes.
mathematicians should think of the same example.
Yes.
But actually, it turns out that it's not the same example. It is an example of Pell's equation, but it's not 61x squared plus 1 equal
So
to
this I got from Jacqueline Stedal's.
No, I don't know. I think
article.
you need to. Yeah, I think it may be better to
Maybe we'll,
check with
to
the
look up.
original sources. As far as I have looked up, it's not there in Fermat's collected works.
Okay. I'll have to see, sir.
61 is there. No, there are two letters. First letter to Chronicle at 61. There is another letter to the British mathematician. 61 is not there in the letter to the British mathematician. Yeah, earlier letter to Chronicle at 61.
Because it is remarkable that the same had been taken up 500 years earlier. That is the remarkable feature of that.
That was my doubt. Because of this check, I checked.
No, that is the same example.
Thank you very much for that talk. Right at the start, you mentioned a quote from Bhaskara that said, symbols are its associates, symbols for algebra. The slide was too fast and I couldn't read the Sanskrit for symbols. Often the algebra that we find in Sanskrit sources is noted to be working rhetorically or without symbols, without symbolic styles of reasoning. What do you think he meant by the word symbols?
Symbols is denoting them. He actually uses the word yavat tavat.
With yavat tavat.
Yavat tavat,
Okay.
kalako, nilako.
Because his descriptions are mostly in prose, so using the yavat tavat, he calls those.
From the time of Brahmagupta it has been used.
Okay, thank you.
Madam, you said every prime number expressed as a sum of two squares.
Yes.
Some numbers are possible, but I have doubt about the number 7, 11, 17, 19. So all numbers are, I think, as per my knowledge, all prime numbers are not expressed as the sum of these squares. Hardly some numbers are there. But you said like that, so kindly
No,
explain.
but is it of the form 4x plus 1?
I mean,
That's
sir,
what we
that
did.
condition is there. Yes, okay. I mean, that is possible only for that type.
Yes.
Okay, which was not mentioned there.
I did mention that. That's a theorem. So it's a Fermat theorem. So next one. No. Every prime p of the form 4k plus 1. Actually, the problem is not with that number. The problem comes only with the number 8. Problem comes with which is also sum of two squares. But it's still not solvable. So this probably because of this theorem. But Bhaskara has given that example. 8x squared minus 1 equal to y squared.
Thank you, madam, for the nice talk. Madam, I would like to ask that all these terms like Labdhi, Guna, then Varga Prakriti, Shrepaka, all these have come from Brahmagupta's time? Or it is introduced by Bhaskaracharya? Because while representing all those Bhavna method.
Guna, I think, sir? Huh? I think so.
Thank you.
Just extension to this Professor Dani's statement that there are parallels. Similar in logic, you'll find a similar parallels. Akshapada, Gautama, founder of Nyaya system, and Aristotle. If you see, the almost parallel the thoughts run.
Yes.
Similar.
Remarkable.
Thank you.
Even the Sthirakutaka, he says it is used in astronomical calculation. For the Kalpayata Shuddhim, the example that he gives is not used that. He has not used Sthirakutaka, he has used normal Kutaka method. So I think the Kutaka method is used probably in Siddhanta Shuromani. Where the no. So though Bhaskara too says it's useful for astronomical calculations, for the example he takes up, he has not used that. I have commented on that also. He has not used Ax plus 1 equal to Cy. He has used Ax plus C equal to. That's the example he has taken. That's the method he has used.
I would thank Madam. Thank you.